Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. Well, as kids head back into the classroom virtually and in person, they may be struggling to cope with their new normals. Here with us today to help us navigate this is Katrina Brock from List Psychology Services. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So how do you think COVID-19 is impacting the mental health of children?
Probably a lot like adults, fairly significantly. Also disproportionately. We know that there's disproportion around parenting time, resiliency factors like economics, and of course the research shows us that there's disproportionate impact on African American communities and minority communities. If parents are able to stay at home or work remotely, that certainly is a resiliency factor. So there's a lot of variables in play.
So what advice do you have for parents who think their kids could use counseling?
You know, that's kind of age dependent. For younger children, we suggest that you plan to be there and participate with the therapy. Parents are critical parent coaches at home. And so if you're using telehealth or teletherapy services, it's really important that the parents stay there in the room and help keep their kiddo focused on the session. It can be helpful if you're doing home therapy by Zoom or by telehealth to make sure that you have a setting that's distraction-free and that the parents act almost like a proxy to the therapist who maybe can't be in the room.
Yeah, and maybe not during the therapy session, but what kind of things could parents be doing at home to help their children during this time?
Well, the things that you can do are provide purpose, structure. We all do better if we have some structure. So keeping some of that day-to-day structure in place is vital. Being aware of our own moods and stress points as parents is pretty critical. I think acknowledging and validating that this is difficult for everyone, grown-ups and kids alike, and that we're facing changes we've never had to face before. So we're all learning as we go through things together. I think it's a tendency to avoid talking about it with kids, and it's equally important that we don't avoid talking about our own emotions in an age-appropriate way. Parents are models for their kids during this, and so kids often respond the way the adults in the world around them respond.
Yeah, that is some great advice and very important there. So what types of therapy does List offer, and how many locations do you have in the area?
List does individual, group, couples, family. We do mental health and substance use disorder treatment. All of our clinics are licensed for both of those services. We have 7 clinics, and they're across 5 different counties. We also have 2 medication-assisted treatment clinics for opioid and alcohol use disorder recovery. We have clinics in Lapeer, in Saginaw, Bay City, Caro, Pigeon, and Bad Axe.
Wow, so kind of all over the mid-Michigan area. And you were mentioning to me before we started doing the interview that the telehealth has really, made things easier for people to be able to get these services.
Telehealth has really increased access to a lot of people. There's, we vast geography out here in the thumb, so it's allowed people to be in the comfort and privacy of their own home and not have all of those transportation and time barriers.
Yeah, and how can someone make an appointment with List?
They can call. We have an 800 number. It's 1-800-968-5701, or they can go online, which is www.listpsych.com, and they will direct you to the office closest to you to get you scheduled.
Well, thank you so much, Katrina, for taking the time to speak with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
And for more information, you can head on over to the hot link section at WNEM.com.